Hello, beautiful people. It's another week. Welcome if you are new here. If you're not new here, welcome back. Welcome back. Those of you that are new here, where have you been? We've been expecting you. Okay, so it's another Friday, another tale. And this time around, if you watched the last video, you know that we're on a series, Lessons from the Life of Jesus. So this is the second part of that series. If you've not watched the first part, I would advise that you watch the first part because this one is a continuation of. Is it a continuation? The first part is a building block for this second part that we're about to go into. Exactly. So watch that one, then come back. Just keep your spot here. Go and watch the last episode and then come back to this particular one. So today, I think I'm going to start with my tale, with a particular tale before we go into the lesson from the life of Jesus that we want to talk about today. So one time, I got back and the Holy Spirit was just like, go to YouTube. I was on YouTube. The Holy Spirit was like, watch this particular video. I wondered why. Usually, when the Holy Spirit says I should watch a video or like I should check something out, is because like there's a message for me or there's something that is trying to show me. So I watched this video and I was expecting, I watched this video with the expectation of, okay, what's God trying to say? The video was a blessing. I was blessed, yes. But I just knew there wasn't a message. There wasn't a specific message here for me. Do you get? For example, let me try and give an example. I might have something confusing. I look pray about it. God, please give me clarity. And then when he says, watch that video, when I watch that video, something said in the video or in the message would address that thing that I'm confused about. So this was a situation like that. I was expecting that that's what was going to happen. When I watched the video, it was just a blessing video. When I say a blessing video, I was blessed by the video, but I didn't get a specific word. You get what I mean? So I just knew this video was not for me. But God was just like, don't worry. I said, okay. And that very night, one of my friends called and she started talking about some things. And immediately when she started talking, I just realized the message I had watched previously was exactly the word that she needed. And I just shared it with her. And she was encouraged and I started laughing. And I told her, do you realize that even before you had this situation or even before you even realized that you would need encouragement or this kind of thing was going to happen, God already set something aside so that when the time came, you would find encouragement and you would find clarity in this particular situation. So I just shared with her how God told me to watch that video. In the time or at the time, I didn't know what the reason was. But now, that video has been a blessing to her because I was able to share it with her. And later on, Holy Spirit just started talking to me about how that's the lesson you are learning today. Your life, let me not just say life, your life is not always or is not only about you. This life that you are living, the experiences that you have, the processes or the journey that God is taking you through, it's not only about you. When we say we have purpose, so people say purpose is the reason why God has sent you to this earth. God did not send you to this earth for only yourself. God has sent you to this earth to impact lives and to touch other people. So your life is not only about you. And that's the focus of this video today. What we're talking about, and we are learning from Jesus, is the fact that sometimes we get to a point where, or subconsciously, we are self-centered. Everything that happens to you, you look at, how does this affect me? Why is this happening to me? There's this mindset of, God, why is this happening to me? Why am I passing through this? But I want to shift our focus through this video to the fact that whenever you are going through something, check and ask yourself, how is this going to help me bless other people? How is this going to help me become somebody that can influence and impact other lives? So that's the lesson that we're learning today. And we are still reading in the book of, we're still in the verse that we're reading in Luke. If you watched the last video, we read it. And it is, Father, if thou be willing, remove this cup from me. Notwithstanding, or nevertheless, rather, not my will, but thine be done. Luke 22:42. So when I'm reading this place, we read about Jesus praying to God, begging him, is it begging? Solicit, let's not use begging. praying to God and saying, God, if it's possible for you to remove this cup from me, if it is possible for me not to do this thing, please let me not do it. Like, as much as I love these people, as much as I want to do it, it's now seeming like a lot. Like the moment or the hour is close, and now Jesus is realizing, oh more, this is a lot. Like, it is going to cost so much. And he's just, talking to God, laying down his burden. And we see that Jesus prayed this prayer about 3 times. Every hour, 3 hours, he was praying this same prayer. And I just started imagining, like, now we are like, thank Jesus, or we thank God that Jesus made that sacrifice on the cross of Calvary. We are reaping the benefits now. We are grateful for salvation. If not for Jesus, sometimes you look at yourself and wonder, if not that Jesus did this thing, where would my life be right now? And I imagine I imagine God listening to his son crying about this, begging and pleading. He's seeing Jesus in agony, and he's seeing the number of us that will be delivered and saved from the pit of hell because of this thing that Jesus is about to do. And it's just like, as much as I love you, son, the people that are going to be saved from this your act far outweigh. Like, this cup is, you just like, you just have to do this thing. This cup, I cannot take it away from you. The people that will be delivered, the deliverance that is going to come, the number of people that will be saved from this your singular act is just too much for us to jeopardize. It's just too much for me to say, because I love you and because I don't want you to suffer, that you shouldn't do this. And it just helped me to shift my focus. When God says, oh, I want you to do this, or do this particular thing, a lot of times we are wondering, why should I do it? How does it benefit me? When I do this thing, is it going to have any impact on my life? But why not also check, this thing that I'm doing, is it going to bless other people? Is it going to impact other lives? It most likely will, because God usually will not do something for you or through you that will not have a positive impact on other people. We are on this earth to be witnesses unto other people about Jesus Christ. So your life experiences is supposed to be something that will draw other people to Jesus. So basically, the point of this video, of the lesson we are learning today, is to shift our focus away from ourselves alone. Don't be self-centered. Do not be. A lot of times I've noticed we're also, God, use me. God, I want to be a vessel in your hand. I want to be someone. I want you to use me to reach many nations. I'm sure all of us would have prayed that prayer before. I've prayed it. But when the chips are now down, God is like, okay, you want me to use you. You want to be a blessing. You want to be a mighty vessel in my hand. Now the chips are down to the things that have to happen in your life, the processes. I'm trying to chasten you, or God is trying to chasten you, God is correcting you, God is trying to prune you. But now it's like, God, why are you being so hard on me? God, why are you? But you asked to be used. You want to be a blessing to others. For that to happen, like we talked about in the last video, you must pass through some certain situations. Do you understand? But why I'm talking about this is that this will help us, like I talked about in the first video, this will help us in managing hard situations. If we can look at the fact that this thing that I'm going through, this process that God is making me pass through, is not only about me. There are many other people. I feel like if God will show you the number of destinies that are attached to yours, you will understand that, wow, this process, I keep saying process, but because our life, especially our journey with Christ, is a process. This process that God is letting me pass through is not only about me. I should be able to endure this hardship. It's just like Paul. There were so many moments when Paul knew, this next country or this next place I'm going into, I'm going to face persecution. But because if Paul was self-centered, he would have said, you know what, I'm not going to go because I'm going to be beaten, I'm going to be flogged. But Paul looked at it like, look at the millions of people, the many lives that are going to hear about Jesus Christ. Many people that will hear the gospel through my persecution, through the floggings that I'm going to receive, through the tribulation that I will pass through. And he was like, you know what? He valued those lives, those people that will be transformed far more than himself. And he went anyway. Even when they prophesied, if it was you, they prophesied to you that if you go to Iraq, maybe you will lose your leg. You most likely will not go. But there's a possibility that if you shift your focus from me losing my leg, or from you, hypothetically, you losing your leg, to the millions of lives that will be saved by you going there, then I feel like the decision to go will be much easier. So that's our lesson today. Your life is not just about you. Always have a focus on the other people, the other lives that are attached to mine, the lives that are attached to me fulfilling my own purpose, the destinies that rely on me fulfilling my own destiny to be fulfilled. So I hope that you learned a valuable lesson from this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. Share it with other people. Leave a comment down below. Anything you want to say about what we talked about today. How have you learned that so many things that you go through is not just about you, it's about you, yes, but many other people. See you next week, Friday.